it's like a 60-40. 60% of them us, 60% of the people in that jail or in them jails, man, is really smart as shit. And the other 40% don't. And I wouldn't even say dumb, they just not conscious, you know, of themselves, you know. But that's what going to jail taught me even more, because I wasn't finna do 10 years. So it made me be conscious to where I'm finna get out and I'm finna change everything. I actually came up with a business plan. My first time ever thought about going into business was in jail, talking to another older guy, you know, on box trucks. And I read down everything. We wrote down the whole little plan. When I get out, how to get the truck, what to do. I'm gonna go to cons, I'm gonna do this, try to get contracts with them with certain little things. And I actually got out and started putting stuff in effect like that.
No, definitely. Was there any other books that you read outside of the biblical books?
Man, I believe it's called How to Handle Adversity. It was a motivational book. Outside of that, man, I was into laws. I was into other cases, trying to figure out how to beat my case, man, or how to, you know, free myself due to any, you know, wrongful things that the laws was doing, you know what I'm saying? I found a couple things that could have been like prosecution misconduct, you know what I mean, on top of, you know, shit, man, what you call it, man, when they try to persuade you to do things?
Yeah, I forget the name.
Not coercion. I think,
but it's something around that coercion. Yeah, coercion.
Yeah, but that's in there too. You can use that because, man, they let me get full. You know what I mean? Before I turn myself in, I'm drinking 2 beers, pulling up and smoking a blunt, man. Shit, when I turn myself in, and they just shit. They still asking me, "You gonna talk to me?" I'm like, nah, I ain't. But shit, when they was like, "So you can only help yourself or make it worse," I'm like, all right then, fuck it, I'll talk to you. And shit, man, the moment I went in there to talk to them, man, they got to ask me crazy ass questions. And I just had to kind of just, you know what I mean, keep it as solid as, you know what I mean, I could, to really not tell on myself or what I did, you know what I mean, because shit, I wasn't finna tell them what a gun was, you know. And yeah, it was just a bad situation, man. You know, I just, you know, was just like, shit, man, I had a gun, they had a gun, and that's what happened, man.
Now you get out, you get to it again. Even your necklace says self-paid.
Most definitely.
And I want you to speak on that mentality because again, that's something that most folks, you know, you got to get out. You want, you know, some people just say I'm gonna go flip burgers because I can't do nothing else. I can't process a way to make anything by myself. And you know, for the self-paid mentality, you have to earn that through life and through, you know, situations and, you know, going through it.
Most definitely.
How has that been for you? How's it going? And what can you speak on it, even to motivate the young men who kind of are lost out here, not knowing how to get to it?
And like I told them earlier, and I mean, all the young folks, if you can find you a plan and a certain thing you like to do growing up, stick to it and make that become your life, you know, because the moment you start straggling and get lost out here, it's kind of hard to pull yourself back together. So the first thing I realized after getting out of jail, man, was, shit, I ain't know shit. I ain't know nothing. I ain't have a driver license. You know what I'm saying? So immediately, like after getting out of 2018, I just started moving, man. Slow, you know what I mean, to get my license. to start up my LLCs, I took it step by step. Because, man, to be honest, man, everything in there killed me. I feel like I wasn't supposed to be doing what I was doing when I was in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like before I went to jail, I wasn't supposed to be living that life. It's like I came to a whole awakening. Like, even during the certain times I was going to jail, you know what I mean? So, like, the little 2-3 fights I had in there was just because me losing my head. I was pissed off from getting visits and not being able to go home, from seeing my daughter, and, you know. So it was just me acting off impulse and not giving a fuck, which is the sum of my life. And if you can ever take anything from me, is that don't give a fuck mentality will kill you, it will eat you. Because if you gotta live eventually and get to living differently, you're gonna realize you rebelled against a lot of stuff that could have been, you know, better off for you. You know, and that was a big reason of me wanting to kill myself. But overall, man, just this business stuff, man, it became a different world for me, man. You know, I ain't have no resources, I ain't have nothing. I ain't know much, you know. So I got to calling anybody I could call, man, how to do this. And one of my friends actually had a registered agent that was gonna help me set up my LLC, and that's what I got everything set up. And man, I went into hot shotting. I will tell you, any business though that you want to go into, like transportation wise, at least come in with 100,000 or more, and have 1 or 2 paid for, either your truck and trailer or truck or trailer.
Good information, though.
Real talk.
How'd you find? I mean, what hurdles did you did you have to know that information?
You know,
Good information.
real talk.
How'd you find? I mean, what hurdles did you did you have to know that information?
Man, my first load, man, is I was picking up a load out of Roanoke, and I was taking it to Houston. Man, when I say I messed up everything, man. I messed up another dude trailer on my first drop off after dropping off my very first car. You know, turned the back end of my trailer, caught the end of his tires or the middle of his hub. Man, it was just bad. I ended up having to go pay for his shit, you know what I mean? Get him squared away, and then figure out how to get my stuff fixed. So, you know, end up flipping my truck the next day, getting up out of Houston. Took out a couple stop signs, poles. I ain't know how to drive, man. That was my first time, man. That was my first time in a truck. That was my first time with a trailer on the back.
Trying to get it, like, man.
But yeah, I sat in the house 2 months. My overhead was like 6,000 to 7,000. So by that third month, I'm in here looking like I gotta get to work. Like, I done just paid $12,000 or so to the stuff I done got a loan for. I done went broke on. Shoot, yeah. So I had to hit the road. And once I hit the road, it was really up and going. But with a new authority, you don't get no business like that. Like, you get places that'll lowball you, but you know, I was hearing a lot. You know, I at least need 6 months. You at least need a year. You know what I'm saying, to be able to work with us and all this type of stuff. So yeah, man, it was
Learning lessons,
a journey, man.
Learning lessons.
Big journey.